Hello, my resilient family, and welcome back to
Don't die afraid.
I just love the theme song. If you are new to the family, make sure that you subscribe below because I create inspirational, amazing content that focuses on your mental health so that you don't die afraid. I know you want to be down, so go ahead, click the button. I'm not watching. So this weekend was the Women's March on Washington. I personally did not attend, but I commend all those that did, and I also applaud all of those who took a time to critique the march, because that's important. How do we grow? How do we make things better? By our critiques, right? So down below you will find a link to a podcast of Francesca, which is one of my favorite content creators, and she really took, a great dive into it. So take a listen. And also there is a link to a Twitter thread of a Native woman explaining her experiences. So when you look at those, make sure that at the top of your mind is respect, because you need to respect people's opinions and their lived experiences and the facts when they have the receipts. Okay, so if you're not about to respect, then you can keep on walking, because this resilient family, we are all for respect. And speaking of respect, I just want to shout out Jane. This has nothing to do with respect, it has to do with gratitude. But Jane of Minnesota State University, she made these hats and sent them to Planned Parenthood for this weekend's training, because I did attend their action and advocacy training on Sunday. So thank you, Jane, this will keep me warm. And I walked away from that training feel amped up with 5 action items that I'm going to tell you all about right now, because marching is cute, but what you gonna do about it though? Number 1 is to create healing spaces with the Black Youth Project 100. If you're not familiar with BYP 100, then you need to know about them, find out about them like yesterday, right? Like last year you should have. So definitely go look them up. Jess and Jakendria, I'm coming for you. We're about to make magic, because being Black in America, being Black anywhere is traumatic.
Every single day that you wake up and you walk out the door and think about what am I going to eat for dinner, people are actually thinking about, am I going to make it back to my house, right? So that's what's at stake very first, to be frank, is our livelihoods. Every single issue that somebody yelled out, we're at the bottom of it. So what's at stake is my life. My literal life.
Number 2 is to learn more about local elections. I met 2 amazing women. One is a school board member, Chanel, I see you girl, and council member Dr. Dorsey Appleers. I met them this weekend and they have inspired me to learn more about local elections in my neighborhood. Not necessarily to run for them, but just to know what's going on, because the state of our union is forcing me to be on my tiptoes. So it's great to have some strong role model women in my life that will show me the reins. And number 3 is to work with the YWCA, which has a mission of eliminating racism and empowering women. They get that I'm not just a Black person on Monday, a woman on Tuesday, and my Nana's caretaker on Thursday. They really get intersectionality.
All women cannot be empowered if we do not address the issues of race and racism.
And I would love to do more work with them to really, dive deep into that and see where that can go. They also have a conference coming up in April, and I will keep you posted on that. Number 4 is to figure out a way to help increase mental health services in juvenile detention centers. I attended a great breakout session that was about criminal justice reform priorities, expanding equity for youth and communities of color.
Knowing if you live in the 4th district of whatever state, what are your prosecutors prosecuting? What are they moving forward with?
And number 5 is to work with the National Network to End Domestic Violence. And I am not a survivor of domestic violence, but it is an issue that is near and dear to my heart, because I have experienced sexual harassment multiple times, and I've written about this on my blog, and I've spoken to friends about it, and I really value healthy relationships and feeling safe and feeling protected and celebrated. So whatever work that I can do with that network, I I welcome it. So those are the 5 actions that I have taken away from this weekend's events, and I'm going to incorporate it into my whole model of being intentional about my resilient growth this year, because growing in my womanhood and embracing my feminism and embracing my blackness, it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be a dope year, and I'm super excited to get started with all of these organizations. So whether you went to a march to train it or you watched all this stuff on Twitter somewhere from somewhere far, I want you to write down below one action that you are going to take this year to better your community. Because if you paid attention, that's what all of this is about. It has to do with service. So write down below one way you're going to serve in 2017. Thanks for watching.
This isn't just a moment for chants and cheers and excitement.
Come on.
This is a moment for work. I need to know not just what that chant is you're going to say, but what is the commitment you are going to make. I want to see every single person in this room